Okay, so in my first video at the timestamp around 29 minutes and 20 seconds, you heard me mention the improvement of having the necessary .dll file be automatically copied over into the current working directory so the window can be successfully launched after its code is built and executed. Well, in this video, I will show you how to do it, and I will also be showing you how to create a single task that will build and run your regular C++ code, and another single task that will build and run your OpenGL code. Now, you can pause the video and read the description to see all that I will be covering in this video so you can know if your objective will be met by watching this video. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so you probably would have recognized this code, or you should recognize this code from my previous video. And we saw where this code down here was actually run first. And then what will happen is that after this task is run, this task, because this task depends on the OpenGL source, the build OpenGL code task, it will actually move to this one first, and it will use this task to build your code. And then afterwards, no, this task will be run after, and it will launch your command prompt, and then your OpenGL code will just be running. Now, I'm going to be making a change. So I did some more research and I found this task right here. So I'm going to copy this. So I'm first going to be starting with just the regular code, and then I move to the OpenGL part. Now, this task, it is simply going to, so this is a single task. As you can see, the start is up here and it ends down here. So this is now going to basically build the code, and then after it is built, it's going to now run it afterwards. So this is all done in one single task. So I'm going to, oh, I should have deleted this part as well. Right, so let me delete this part. Okay, so this task now is just going to simply run your regular code. So I'm going to now come over here and I'm going to say Ctrl-Shift-B, and I'm just going to wait. Now, because it's just one task, it will not give you the option because, I mean, it's only one task. So there's only one task that can really be run. So I just pressed Ctrl-Shift-B and we just wait a bit, and then bam, here's our hello world. So simply this, I'll just put this in basically I'll just put this code in the description so you can just simply copy and paste it. And okay, right, so that is that. Okay, now, so we see that it started the build, and after it launched the command prompt, we saw the hello world, and when you close it, we noticed that the build successfully came up afterwards. So I think this is probably a faster way of doing things. So that's it for our hello world. Now, what about our OpenGL window? So we say Ctrl-Shift-B, and it's not going to work, right, naturally, because we haven't really included or shown the include path to this. Now, to fix that, I'm just going to simply go to my next code. So I'm just going to go to my configurations task, and I'm going to show you the next code. So I'm going to copy all of this all the way down to here. And okay, so there's a comma, so I'm going to press enter. So after this closed curly bracket and the comma, I'm going to paste it right here. Now, you can know basically this code is going to be similar to the above, but there's going to be a difference. We're going to have the include paths and the linkers for OpenGL. So you would recognize this section from the above, that's up here. It's this section right here. And here is our include paths for OpenGL. Now, you remember that improvement I talked about where when I run the code, I had to manually transfer the glfw3.dll file into my current working directory. So here's the window. I'd have to transfer this file directly for it to run. Well, actually, I added this part that does it for me. So we copy this file and we're going to place it in the current directory. Once this takes place now, we launch the command prompt and run the code. So that is what this is doing. And this is just simply the detail. So this section now is going to be a single task that is going to now build and run your OpenGL window. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to come back over here. And okay, let me close this. The problem should be resolved. So let me just press Ctrl-Shift-D. And okay, so here we now have two tasks. So this was our build and run, and this was our regular code. But this was the second one I created, build and run OpenGL window. And as you can see, there it is right there. So that's what's being shown. So I'm going to come here, Control Shift B, and I'm going to select this one. So I'm just going to wait. And there you go. Wait. Okay, all right, there you go. So there is our window. So yeah, I think this is probably the fastest way because after all, it's not like it's not launching a single task, which is a build task, and then after the build task, now it has to now shift over to another task, and then that's the execution task. It's done just simply all in one go. So I think this method would be faster. No, I just use Control Shift B, but I just like the idea of using Control R. Now that was a shortcut that I basically, well, that shortcut was already being used by a different, I guess that you could say a different feature, but because I wanted it to be used just to run the code, I basically just changed it. I'm going to show you how to do that. So I went to settings and I went to keyboard shortcuts, and then I just simply typed in control, well, I actually came over here. You're going to see record keys. I enabled that and I say control R. Now, what you should be seeing, I would probably should have probably done this from the beginning, but you probably would have seen a code that deals with that basically, I believe it has to do with something up here in the search bar. So I just simply removed it and then I just simply created or basically created a user task, which would be the run build task. So to do that, let's see. This will build. Okay, so here it is Control Shift B, and then this was a new one I created. Now to create a new task, I just remember now, you actually come to the upper left corner and you see Open Keyboard Shortcuts. So as you can see here now, well, this one I say not in use. So basically I just made a note of the original command that would be executed when you press Control R. So I just made a note of that. So this was the command and this is the new one now. So this one now, Control R, the command workbench. So this is for the task and it is applied to the workspace and it only occurs when you're focused in the editor. That's when you're focused in this section. So that is what I actually did. So yeah, that should be it. So that is how you basically, oh, and by the way, I just remembered. So remember that part about the copying of the file? Here it is. Notice when I run the OpenGL window, the executor file was created and also this. So I'm just going to run it one more time. So I'm going to delete it. So you can save to delete these files. You don't have to worry about losing it because remember the task only copied it. It didn't move the file. So I'm going to do it again. So as I said, I created a shortcut. It was Control R and I select the build and run, but you can use Control Shift B. If you don't want to use the Control R, you can just continue, no problem. And okay, so here's our window, but take a look over here. See the glfw3.dll file, this was copied over, and our OpenGL win.exe, the executor file was created, and this is our window. So yeah, that is that. If this video was helpful to you, please just like and subscribe. And well, I will try to. I know you probably would have noticed that I haven't really talked about any C++ coding. I will try to start doing that in the near future. But if this video was helpful to you, you can like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you again on Friday. All right, peace.